welcome back to my channel. I am finally back for another video. My name is Megan. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to do a bit of a different video. I have been gone for a couple months and I just want to update you guys on life and budgeting and money and just telling you what's up in my life because things have been crazy lately. So let's just get right into the video. So starting in September is when I stopped filming. It was kind of chaotic because I started school. If you don't know, I am in a child care program that specializes in infant toddler development. So I am doing that because I work in a daycare. It's just schooling additional to what I have so far. It is very fun. This is my last semester of schoolwork and then I just have the practicum after, but that won't be until like June of next year. So this semester has been very hard for me. If you don't know, also I do have a 6-month-old. So when I started the program in September, she was about 3 months old. So that was hard having a newborn, and then as well as I have a almost 2.5-year-old. So starting school again and having 2 children was very hard for me, along with posting on social media for Budget Queen and then filming on top of it is very hard, while also being a wife and trying to keep up with all the household chores. So I hope you guys understand why I have been gone the past couple months. It has been very hard for me. So we also had a trip planned in October to go to my parents' house at the end of October to go see them. They live 12 hours away. That includes a ferry ride, and we are going to road trip. So that is way different than flying. I thought it was going to be a lot cheaper, but when we took into consideration that we had to buy new tires because there's 4 mountain passes that we have to do to get there, which is crazy, but we did it. I can't believe we did it with 2 children and we have a Jeep Compass, so it's not like the biggest SUV, it's very small actually. So for a 10-day vacation, not really a vacation, it's more like a trip, it was a lot of work, but we ended up getting new tires for the Jeep. It was around $1,200, so pretty expensive. They were nice studded winter tires that were going to promise that we would make it to my parents' house. With that, we also had to budget in our expenses when we're there, and our travel, so that's like hotel, gas, food, all that kind of stuff. So we were looking at like $1,200 there as well, which in perspective is kind of like it would have been cheaper to fly and less time consuming. But when we had our dead set plan on going on the car trip, then we just decided to stick with that plan and just go with the road trip. So that is it for September. Moving on to October. At the end of September and the beginning of October, my husband went, his job went on a curtailment, I believe it's called. It's where you are laid off of work type of thing, but instead of being laid off for 2 weeks straight, he was off every Friday. So he was working 32 hours a week and off every Friday for 10 weeks. So with that, I became very depressed about our finances. As well as the beginning of October, I got a statement in the mail saying that I owed the government another $750. If you haven't followed along with my story, I kind of have paid them around $3,000 since tax season in April, which is ridiculous, and I can't believe it's even like, it's crazy to say. But that's that. So I became really depressed about like owing money to the government and my husband being off work, and then we just bought brand new tires for my Jeep, and then we had to cash flow another $1,200 on top of that. So that was $2,400 that we had to cash flow in like less than 2 months. It was crazy. So since I've had my daughter in since the end of May, I have been on a cash flow save for anything that pops up type of budget, which is very unmotivating because I want to pay off debt and get our debt out of sight, out of mind type of thing, and move on with our lives. But instead of doing that, I ended up reoccurring some debt in that time with my husband. It was a very rough time since I've had my daughter. But so we are very lucky that we were able to cash flow that money in September and October. So that really helped us out. We did not reoccur any debt for our tires or our trip, which is amazing. So I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, like I said, I owed the government $750. I had to pay that in 3 paychecks. They took it out of my EI, and if you don't know, I'm on maternity leave right now. I live in Canada, so I get 55% of my wage, which was very small in the first place. So I get around $586 every 2 weeks. And so when they were taking that $750, I was only getting $292 every week for 6 weeks, which was, have you ever lived on $292 for 2 weeks? Like, it's crazy. Like, I didn't think it could get bad enough, and it is. Like, we don't have that good of an income, a monthly income, and trying to cash flow a $2,400 trip along with paying the government all this money, it was not fun. Like, I was so depressed, and that's honestly why I have not been posting on YouTube or my Instagram at all throughout this couple of months. And I'm so sorry that I haven't, because I love doing it and I love interacting with you guys. But I have been on my Instagram a lot lately, so if you are not following me on there, it's budget_queen2018. So yeah, that is that. Moving on to November, my husband and I got really fed up and honestly exhausted with all of our debt and how things have been going the past couple months. So we really sat down and looked at our goals, and we wanted to pay off debt in 2020 like hard. I'll share our numbers in a second here, but we want to pay it off, and we want to start saving for a house, because that's our biggest goal. Is we want to buy a house in the next 3 to 4 years. That's our goal now, maybe even 5, just because the market is kind of crazy right now. But we just kind of got sick and tired again. Like, it kind of we had to get slapped in the face to realize that we weren't doing things as well as we should be, especially when redoing our numbers and seeing how our debt reoccurred very, very fast. It was like a shock to us. So in November, we said, let's have a huge reset. Let's have a no spend November, we've been kind of off just because we ate out 2 times, but other than that, we've been fantastic with our no spend November, and we had a huge reset. If you didn't read that post on my Instagram, please go do that. It's not a huge one, but it was just explaining everything, how everything happened this past couple months, and the reset is really what we needed to realize what our goals were and to give ourselves like a refresh, like a break and a refresh. So we gave ourselves like a refresh. We took our budget binder, took all the old stuff out, printed out new stuff, got new debt tracker charts just to motivate us, which I will be doing a video on, doing a huge flip through of my budget binder and all my budget sheets. If you don't know, I have an Etsy shop, it's BudgetQueenShop, and I have a lot of budget sheets, which are awesome. They have honestly helped me with my budgeting and staying on track while we've been going through this crazy time. So please check those out if you are struggling with your budget or if you want to revamp your budget. It really helps. So with this reset, we are on baby step number 1 again. It sucks to say, but it has to happen. We used all our savings to go on that big trip. That was part of like the $1,200 to $1,400 that we had, because we had to save so fast. So we had 0 for our emergency fund, but in the past 2 weeks on our first bi-weekly budget, we saved $500, and we are on track to save another $500 to get that $1,000. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the baby steps from Dave Ramsey. They are awesome. It's to help you with financial freedom and all that stuff. So yeah, for baby step 1, we'll complete it in November, thank God, and we're also saving for Christmas already. We're gonna cash flow Christmas, kind of keep baby step 2 on pause so we can cash flow Christmas and have an awesome Christmas with our family. And then in January, we are going balls to the wall, debt-free, live-in kind of thing. So we want to live that frugal life and pay off as much debt as we can. We are hoping to be debt-free in a year and a half. So in the middle of 2021, and then we'll start saving for a house, which is so exciting. We've tried our best, and we paid off about $6,500. That's with the reoccurring debt. I put that into account, and with all that reoccurring debt and stuff, we still paid off $6,500. So now here on my notepad, I have our debt numbers. Just so you know, we have paid off my engagement ring, we have paid off my husband's grandparents, each were $2,000 each, and then we paid off my MasterCard, and we paid off my husband's credit card. My MasterCard's only at $1,000 limit, and then my husband's Visa was at $3,000, and we paid those off. So we were way beyond the $6,000, but we reoccurred some debt onto those credit cards because it has been a nightmare. And you know what, guys, stuff happens. So I hope you don't think this is so discouraging, because I do. You know, mistakes happen, crap happens, and we have learned since then, and we have cash flowed everything that has come in thus far, and I'm so proud of us just to be able to do that. So our new numbers, if you already haven't seen this on my Instagram, here's our new numbers. So my MasterCard is at $667.04. My husband's Visa is at $2,836.81. My Visa is at $5,994.82, and my US Visa is at $6,840.13. A grand total of $16,338.80. So if you divide that by 12, which is next year is 12 months, that is around $1,300. So we're able to kind of save or cash flow about $1,000 a month right now, and I'm hoping that we can do the $1,300. But with my maternity being up in May, and my daughter cannot go to daycare until she's 2.5, I only get to work part-time. So I don't know what my work's gonna look like at the time that I go back to work, but I'm hoping that I'm able to do 3 8.5-hour shifts. So I hope that I am able to work some when I go back to work, just so I am able to stick to our plan of hopefully becoming debt-free at the end of 2020, if not early 2021. But that is my whole update, guys. I am so sorry that I've been off of YouTube for so long. I'm excited to get back. I have a lot of video ideas, and I'm asking some of my friends what kind of videos they would like to see on my channel. So I might mix it up, maybe do some daily vlogs or something, because I'm just like sitting at home with my kids. But these types of videos I can't really have my kids in, unless you want to hear screaming children. That just is a nightmare. But let me know in the comments below what you want to see on my channel, and I'll for sure do that. And please subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. And obviously when you're at 1,000 subscribers, you start to get paid from AdSense, which would really help out in paying our monthly debt off. And I will use every single penny of that YouTube earning to go to my debt. So if you want to help us out with that, please subscribe down below. Please leave a comment of what you want to see on my channel next, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
If you walk